Here's the ultimate secret that consciousness programmers don't want you to discover. Every system they use to control you can be transformed into a tool for your empowerment. Every limitation they try to impose can become a stepping stone to greater freedom. Today, I'm going to show you how to become an inner alchemist who transforms programming into wisdom. I'm Dr. Marcus Thorne, and today I'm going to reveal the most powerful technique for transcending consciousness programming, the practice of inner alchemy. Inner alchemy is the ancient art of transforming limitation into liberation, unconsciousness into awareness, and programming into wisdom. It's based on the understanding that consciousness is naturally creative and unlimited, which means you can work with any experience to develop greater freedom and understanding. Let me give you a practical example. When you encounter cube-based architectural programming, instead of feeling controlled by it, you can use it as a reminder to access your unlimited consciousness. The cube becomes a trigger for remembering your true nature rather than a limitation on your awareness. This works because consciousness programming depends on unconscious participation. When you become conscious of programming attempts, they lose their power over you. But inner alchemy goes further. It transforms the programming energy into fuel for your development. Here's how the process works. Recognition. First, you develop the ability to recognize programming when you encounter it. This includes architectural influence, digital conditioning, media programming, and social pressure. Recognition is the foundation of inner alchemy. Understanding. Next, you understand how the programming is designed to affect consciousness. You see the psychological mechanisms and symbolic principles being used. This understanding removes the mystery and reduces the emotional charge. Transformation. Finally, you consciously transform the programming energy into wisdom and empowerment. Instead of being controlled by the programming, you use it as raw material for your development. For example, when you encounter time pressure designed to create stress and limitation, you can use that energy to develop greater presence and inner stillness. When you encounter financial programming designed to create scarcity consciousness, you can use it to develop a deeper understanding of abundance and value creation. The key insight is this: consciousness programming uses real energies and principles, but applies them in limiting ways. When you understand the underlying energies, you can redirect them toward empowerment rather than limitation. This is why ancient alchemists were so interested in transformation practices. They understood that the same forces that create limitation can be used to create liberation. The difference lies in consciousness and intention. Inner alchemy also works with emotional programming. When you encounter media content designed to create fear, anger, or dependency, you can use those emotional energies to develop greater compassion, clarity, and independence. The emotions become fuel for consciousness development rather than tools for control. The practice requires developing what I call alchemical awareness, the ability to see every experience as an opportunity for consciousness development. This doesn't mean becoming passive or accepting harmful situations. It means maintaining a creative response capability regardless of external circumstances. I've developed specific techniques for inner alchemy through years of research and practice. In my book, The Saturn Conspiracy: How Ancient Cube Worship Controls Modern Reality, I provide detailed instructions for transforming programming into wisdom, along with advanced practices for consciousness development. You can grab your copy for just $2.99 using the link in the description below. Here's a simple daily practice. When you encounter any form of programming or limitation, pause and ask yourself, how can I use this energy for my development? Then consciously redirect the energy toward expansion rather than contraction, creativity rather than conformity, and empowerment rather than limitation. The ancient wisdom teaches that consciousness is naturally unlimited and creative. Programming works by convincing you that limitations are natural and necessary. Inner alchemy demonstrates that even limitations can become tools for transcending limitation. This practice is particularly powerful because it removes the victim mentality that programming depends on. When you can transform any experience into wisdom, you become truly free regardless of external circumstances. The alchemical approach also creates positive change in your environment. When you respond to programming with consciousness rather than reaction, you demonstrate possibilities that inspire others to develop their own awareness. Remember that inner alchemy is a practice, not a theory. It requires consistent application and a willingness to work with whatever experiences arise. But the results are profound. You develop the ability to maintain freedom and creativity regardless of external programming attempts. Tomorrow, I'll show you how to use these principles to create positive change in your work, relationships, and community. But first, check out the Saturn Conspiracy and start your own inner alchemy practice. The ancient wisdom is still available to those who seek it. The question is, will you remain a victim of programming, or will you become an inner alchemist who transforms limitation into liberation?